Hey guys, back on the video. This video is about Janiyah McMichaels, the 13-year-old that went missing in Indiana, I believe it was. And in this video, we're going to see Kevin Collins, he goes by KC Bodyguard on all social media platforms. In this video, he's going to be interviewing a young lady that was acquaintance with Kiara Bates, Janiyah's mom girlfriend, and she's gonna be spilling a little bit of tea about Kiara. As y'all know, Kiara allegedly was SN Janiyah before she came up missing. So he's been on Kiara and Janiyah's mom, Jasmine McMichaels' neck. And he ain't letting up no time soon. So let's get into it.
What's going on, everybody?
Instagram page. That's why she wanted to take the dogs. He found it on the Instagram. She's like, on his Instagram page, that's house they went to. That's why they went over there. But that's not that house we went to. The house because they listen. Far as fuck in like Glen Park. That's whatever. But they're all in cahoots. They all know each other. They're in a gang. They're moving her around because we're knocking on these doors, but we're not coming with the police. So what we have to do is let Casey take the lead on everything. Whatever we get, we have to give to him so him and his team can do it. We are not going to get her by ourselves. Yeah. They're not going to give us to her. They're not going to give her to us. So let them, whatever lead you get, if you don't want to send it to me, send it to him and let them take the lead. Because the boy just called him. He ain't calling mom. They're the one offering the reward money now. So now they're really going to give him information. So he has to take lead on everything. I'm even stepping back and letting him do his thing. Now that we know that she's being held against her will with this McKeith guy, we can't do shit but let him take lead, or we're going to go pick her up and we're going to have to put her in a fucking body bag. And I don't want that. Yeah. They got hella guns all over the internet. If I see something, I'm going to send it to you or send it to that guy on his Facebook because I got his Facebook. So shit, I'll send it to his motherfucking Facebook. Screenshot the Facebook so I can send that to him so he can know what Facebook. Goddamn, Casey. Oh, I thought you were talking about Lucky, girl. I didn't even know that nigga had a fucking Facebook. We just found his Instagram. No, he just found TikTok. The boy gave him the Instagram. We're figuring it out. See, I didn't know about that. I knew that nigga had an Instagram, and that's how we found that red house. Yeah, this is all off TikTok. Yeah, we didn't know that. Shit, the house we went to was all the way damn near by Maryville, and that lady, she came in the door. Show her a picture of the crib. That looked like Maryville. Them houses be easy. Hold on. This was like, you remember where Jermaine used to stay at, and Dad used to go over there at that one gas station? It's scary. Miss Stanley, they know Miss Stanley. That's 41st. No, not that. You know, she's talking about right into the hill. Nah, like, I used to stay up. Remember my first apartment that I got with all of that's Glen Park, but that's the back area where all the woods are. You gotta, yeah. These the houses. No, that's Maryville house. I don't know if that's Maryville, but that's not where we were at yesterday. When we got that, and when you had sex, I'm like, what fucking lady did you get into? It wasn't over there. It was over there by the woods where Tyler used to stay at. You know how you go over, and then it's fucking Gary. It's Maryville, then it's Gary, where her house was. Right over there by the that's where her school is. Yeah, we're far as fuck. Like we're literally. What is that? But Twyla lived. Twyla used to live behind. Like 49, 150. Yeah. Just almost. Because I used to turn. place that you got in Virginia? We're over there by our place. That's where they let us. We're over there. Like, we did not, the police did. And we're like, that lady came in where she's like, don't fucking come over here. Like, I don't have nothing to do with this. Like, what are you talking about? We weren't nowhere near, like, where we seen that fucking red house that we was eating.
Making small people pop in.
That wasn't yesterday. That was like the day before. We just, because they
Share this live.
like, yeah, she might be over here in that area, like, at this house. We go to all the little boys thing. She pulled that shit from the keys.
What's going on, everybody? Can y'all hear me? Can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up before we get started. Can y'all hear me good? Can everybody hear me? Perfect. Appreciate the love and the support. I'm going to get started. I first want to publicly say that by mentioning, Kiara Brody Bates, it's not about her preference. So understand that I'm not attacking her because of her preference in the community that she's a part of. So don't think that, I'm coming at the community because, I want people to just to take a look at the type of person she is. We're not talking about her preference, her as a woman. So, I just want to make that clear that this is not a disrespect, a jab at the LGBTQ community. I actually have aunts that's part of that same community, as well as clients. And just, being around them, one thing I know for sure that they all love kids. And they would never harm or hurt any kid. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I wanted, to acknowledge that before I get started. Just to have insight from those from that community. If you want to be added to my live, feel free. But, I just wanted, to say that before I get started. But just reflecting back, as you can see, I wrote key points that I would like to speak on, as well as there will be some surprise guests that tune in, that pop in, that knows Kiara Bates. And I appreciate her for reaching out to me and stepping forward, wanting to speak up. But, yeah, hey, everybody for tuning in. So I'm not coming to you as a private detective. I'm not coming at you, as nothing but a God-fearing man, a father. Who have daughters. This is bigger than any title or credential that we all could hold. Because 13-year-old Janiyah McMichaels is still, missing. But the two people that was around her, according to Jasmine, the last time that they seen her was Jasmine and Kiara. Now, through this whole process, Kiara was kind of quiet to me. But I noticed that people like Jasmine, Yolanda, and even Nathaniel was her puppets. I call Kiara the mastermind the master with puppets. So I'm gonna start off, with everything I want to talk about. What raised the red flag with me with Kiara was in August. She lawyered up real quick. My thing is, if you don't have no acknowledgement or the whereabouts of Janiyah, why lawyered up? She got her a lawyer. Her and her mom got them a lawyer, but didn't get Jasmine nothing. That's kind of fishy to me. I could recall one time when I was actually over there, sitting in the backyard with Kiara. It was me and my guards. We was there. The rest of Jasmine kids, Yolanda, and Nathaniel. We was, sitting on the back, doing a search, which turned out to be the first and the last time that Jasmine and Kiara went searching for this baby. But sitting back there, I couldn't help but notice that the only baby that Kiara was really loving on was the little, boy, one of the twins. But a situation happened where I'm not sure what this little boy did, but Yolanda had disciplined him, and Kiara, she snapped, kind of checked on mama, and the thing that just sit well with me, because from what I see, I'm sitting back there with everybody else, is the kids didn't do nothing wrong. But I noticed that these same kids is sitting next to each other, can't even play with each other like brothers and sisters, can't even interact. They're literally sitting there like this, quiet. You understand what I'm saying? That was just one of the red flags to me. Then my whole thing is, it's like, I can recall another time where it was me, Miss Rogers, and her daughter, which is Janiyah's auntie, a situation where we had came back over there, and Miss Rogers asked Jasmine, could she use her restroom? So instead of Jasmine said, hey, you can use my restroom, Kiara jumps right in, was like, no, let her use the restroom in my mom's house. She was so adamant about not letting Janiyah's grandmother use Jasmine's restroom, and that also was another red flag. Certain things that was transpiring was raising my eyebrow, but from day one, I always, of course, looked at Jasmine because she's the mother of Janiyah. I'm paying attention to Kiara, Yolanda, Nathaniel, but my focus been mostly on Jasmine. But since, Kiara will only allow her to speak when she is present, that definitely caught my attention. You know what I'm saying? Because it seemed like every time that I've been over there around them, before Jasmine spoke, she would look over at Kiara, and like she asked for permission. But my thing is, in this situation, man, I just feel like that it's a lot of red flags that was there. You know what I'm saying? And at the beginning, I wasn't really paying attention to them. But as time went on, and I was doing what I was, asked to do, which is to get to the bottom line of it. And since then, I haven't let up, So, yeah, I'm going to kind of dive in a couple of keynotes. So if you notice, like, I'm actually looking down, reading my notes, so y'all can see. I just want to pretty much focus more on Kiara. You know, she's been quiet. You never really see her actually in the cameras. But she's right there coaching Jasmine as well as Yolanda, as well as Nathaniel. When it comes down to questions, there's so many things that transpired that caught my attention. A lot of things that I don't speak on publicly because I would rather speak to the FBI, or some law enforcement that's going to react and do their job with, information that I informed them on. The young lady that you is seeing that's now on here, she was one of Kiara's neighbors. And when she was explaining, the things that she recalled being, a neighbor to Kiara. So if you kind of want to go over it a little bit again, because there's a lot of more people that's tuning in now that I see.
Yeah, me and Kiara was neighbors. We lived I lived upstairs, she lived downstairs. At the time, I was in an abusive relationship, but she used to abuse her girlfriend downstairs. And she had, the girlfriend has 2 kids. The little girl got taken away from her through CPS because Kiara was touching her.
And how old was this little girl? Well, at that time.
I don't know how old she was at the time.
Okay.
I don't know.
So after the kid, the baby was taken away, the mom still stayed with Kiara?
Yeah, she still stayed with her. And they used to fight all the time. It was a time that her son, he kind of like just left out because I guess he was tired of, watching it, witnessing it. And I talked to him the next day. Kiara told who I was staying with at the time, tell your baby mama to mind her own business. So her pattern and her character, people like that don't just change overnight. To me, I read it as she a predator. She like dealing with females she can control. She like dealing with females that she can abuse. And I ain't saying it's right, but she did come up in an abusive home. So, but I don't see all the lives I watch with Yolanda, Nathaniel. I don't see nobody talking about. They only talking about what they didn't do, or and all of that type of stuff. But I don't see nobody touching bases on maybe something went wrong, because obviously these 2 women have had some type of childhood trauma where they think that keeping shit a secret is right.
Do you think that Kiara?
And I'm not getting on here saying this. I don't want no clout. I don't want a whole bunch of friend requests. I don't want none of that. I don't even have a problem with Kiara. It's just of what I know.
Right. Right. Well, not only heard of a lot of things that you're confirming, but just me being around them at the beginning of this case, what I observed is, Kiara is very controlling, which I've seen her not just with Jasmine, but with her mom, and even Nathaniel, as well as the kids. The way her and Jasmine run the household is like you would think you had a army base, a job corps. You know what I'm saying? These kids, now I'm watching, kids, 'cause all of them around the same age. And what kids supposed to, especially brother and sister, they play with each other and have fun with each other. Where Kiara and Jasmine didn't allow that. And, I would watch the kids sit there and not say nothing to each other. And if they said something to each other, either Kiara or Yolanda would discipline them.
Yeah, I don't know Jasmine, but I can look at her videos and tell she too disconnected. I have a 14-year-old. It's no way impossible I'd be able to talk about it. I don't care. All she talk about is what the baby did or what she was doing wrong. I don't care what my son did, where he at.
I just feel like, every neighborhood, every community, unfortunately, have someone like Kiara, have someone like Jasmine. But it's sad that, as far as Kiara, she would target, women that's desperate, especially women with kids. Because my thing is, if Kiara never wanted kids, right? Or like kids, why are you targeting women with kids?
Mm-hmm.
And the only answer I come up with is the fact that you know that the woman, like Jasmine, is gullible. You see, she has smaller kids,
And you
and if you have
gonna target women with daughters because once you can target a woman with a son, but he gonna grow up.
right,
He gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like eventually he gonna start to get buck with you.
right, right,
Females are, girls are more easy to manipulate in that aspect like that. So it's like that's just not right. It ain't right. She definitely is a predator.
yeah. And I think it's about time for people to see her for who she is. You know, uh, I remember at the beginning when, as people seen the video with me and Jasmine, where originally I just showed you what she had said. But I asked Kiara that day. I said, man, you and Jasmine, let's do this video to bring awareness to the public. Kiara off back was like, no, 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 I don't want to do it. I don't, Jasmine to do it. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, if whatever your girl is in, you're supposed to be in.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? This your girl. Me personally, uh, the fact that you go out and get a lawyer before them fingers were starting to point back at you is a red flag to me. It's a lot of things that I wrote down in my notes, and I've always kept track of everything throughout this whole case. And it's just sad because a lot of people that I spoke to, a lot of people stepped forward as far as wanting to speak about Kiara, but they so afraid of her. You know, you know what I'm saying? And that's the problem that we have within our communities is that people know things, they've seen things, but they're afraid to step forward. You know what I'm saying? And one of the reasons why they're afraid to step forward is because,
That's part
you know,
of having empathy. Like, I know it's probably a lot of people on here that's mothers. I got a 14-year-old. If somebody knew something about with my child, if you not going to step forward and say something, I'm finna make you.
right.
So I feel like that somebody needs to say something. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
not saying nothing is condoning it to me.
I agree with you 100%. You it's just, I mean, again, when it comes out to communities, one of the lawsuits that we have is between the community and the police. Because we've seen so many times where the police, they say publicly, how they ask for the village to help them. But what they're not saying is the disconnection. Why the village don't trust them. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just sad, man, because, here it is, you have two different people, with Kiara, according to what I've learned, she comes from a background of molestation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's sad because if all this had happened to Kiara and her cousins and them, the problem is with Yolanda. How are you okay with anyone molesting your daughter or your family members, and you're not saying nothing? Somebody needs to be held accountability, because it's sad because we see so many times where, they say hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
And, I just feel like that's one of these situations. And then even with Jasmine, she said it for the longest, how she didn't want these kids. You seen it in black and white on paperwork. You'd have heard recordings. You'd have seen text messages where for years she's been saying how she didn't want these kids. And look where we are today. It's so much things that could have been uh, prevented if people would have just reacted. Because I feel like, as far as Jasmine, no matter who she would have ended up with, her goal was still get rid of these kids. So here it is. You see Kiara see uh, a woman that's vulnerable, gullible, no type of common sense at all, that have kids. So for a predator, and I'm gonna say a predator, and I'm gonna stand on it, to see a woman that's, uh, that have kids, to her, that's like, yeah, come this way, because she thinks that she could, molest these kids, beat on these kids, and etc. And she knows that Jasmine is not gonna say anything, So I think whatever happened, uh, it happened because, maybe Janaya is was tired of it happening, and, Jasmine Kiara wasn't gonna take a chance of letting this baby go to her father and his side of the family, and them risking the chance of Janaya exposing them, and like I said, for a long time, this baby didn't just up and disappear. You know, uh, uh, she didn't run away like Jasmine was saying. That's a bunch of BS to me.
No.
And here it is. We are where we are today. You know, I do believe, and I feel like Jasmine Kiera knows what and where Janaya is at. Yolanda and Nathaniel knows what happened.
Yep.
You know, next door. But because of the loyalty so strong with Yolanda and Nathaniel with Kiera, that they're not going to say anything. You understand what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, when this hit the fan, because it's gonna hit the fan real soon, them same people that Jasmine think that has her back is for to be singing like mockingbirds. You understand? It's a situation, man, where us as the public, the village, we can't let this turn cold. You know what I'm saying? Justice needs to be served. You know, people need to be held accountable. You know, uh, not all the time it's the mayor and the police fault. I don't just fault them. I fault CPS for not reacting on the numerous calls, the emails, not just from family but friends, neighbors, on what they observe about this baby or them kids being touched.
Yep.
And I've heard Jasmine say that uh, her mother Dahlia don't like Kiera because she's gay. That's a lie. Dahlia have a problem with Kiera because of the accusations that she's heard of Kiera molesting her grandkids.
So y'all heard that. There's a lot that goes into this story. If you guys need to catch back up, go back to my previous videos of Janaya. Janaya been through some things in that family. She's been SA multiple times. One being by her mom's sister's boyfriend, which is supposed to be Janaya's uncle. Why he's not locked up, I'm not understanding, because he, Kevin, he went on Toot's podcast last night, and he said that a SA kit was done and everything, but no charges was pressed against the uncle for SA and Janaya. And I'm trying to find out why, because even if the parents didn't want to press charges, the state normally picks these type of things up. They did something to Janaya, the mom and the girlfriend, I believe, allegedly, and they're trying to cover it up. They doing everything in their power to cover it up, and all they doing is making themselves look noticeable. It's red flags all over them. So y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, and get this in the algorithm so it can get out. Like, everybody needs to hear this story. It's not really a big story. The police in Indiana not doing too much on this case, from what Kevin has said. So us as the public and content creators need to push it, push it, push it. So y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button. I'm out of here. Bye.